So once upon a time, all those years ago, in fact, only just a moment ago, when time, of course, was circular and not that digital chronological time, that online time that we have, there was a lot more of that presence that was there in the now, in the moment, in in the once upon a time. And in that time, there was a village, of course, not far from here. Some people say very far from here. Some people say it was in the east. Some people say it was in the west. Some people say it was just up in the heavens. Some people say that it was all of those places simultaneously co-arising. Either way, we tune in and find ourselves with Patty. Patty is sitting at Starbucks having his macchiato. He can't believe what he's just read, and the exclamation and the spontaneity and the reactivity of him was it just busting out everywhere. He says, "Holy Mother of God, I can't believe it!" And everybody in the Starbucks turned around and looked at him like something had happened. He says, "No, I'm just reading. I'm just online reading another Trump joke. It's just, don't worry, it's all good." So they all calmed down and said, "Oh, well, it's just a Trump joke, no problem." They went back to their computers. He turned the volume down and turned on the video because he couldn't. This is unbelievable. They had discovered in Africa that there is a treasure bigger than any treasure on the planet that is in one of the digs down there. And there could only be, because Patty was an archaeologist, there could only be a few digs that you could narrow this treasure down to. So he turned the volume down and didn't let anyone see, and got very secret and quiet and they said on the video that there was going to be probably impossible to find because people have been looking for thousands of years, but it's just come to light that somebody's writing a story about it, and they're trying to open up the door to the possibility of people hunting that treasure down again. And he said, well, to himself, he stood up, "I'm the man. I'm the man. I'll go down. I know how to do this. I have my way. And what Patty wants, Patty gets." And Patty walked out of Starbucks. Well, if we fast forward a bit, we can find Patty. He's down. He's gathering up his resources. He's got maps and he's got charts and he's got all sorts of. He knows approximately where this mine is. That he narrowed it down to one possible dig, one mine where he could go and get this treasure. But he knows well enough that he doesn't know the territory that well, that he needs to now go and talk to some of the elders. So if we just join him now in the conversation with these elders, he's saying, look, this is a great discovery. It could be good for you. It could be good for me. It could be good for your culture. It could be good for all sorts of things. And they got quiet after he proposed his really worked out scheme. And he also threw in his resume that was pretty impressive and talked a lot about what his history was. And Patty was quite, well, let's just say he was a type A, and he was quite strong in his mind and determined, and what Patty wants, Patty gets. They took that all in. They looked at his plan. They got back to him later on the day and said, "You know what? Let's give it a go." So now we're hiking down. It's been a couple of weeks. We're hiking into the dig, and the elders have assured him they know where it is, but he can't help himself. He's starting to steam. He's starting to get upset, and things aren't going the way it is. It's been 2 goddamn weeks, he cries out. And the elders turned around and said, "What is going on?" And he got pissed, and he started foaming at the mouth, and he started steaming at the ears, and there was a whole lot of confusion from the elders and the people that were walking with him. They were probably about 20, 25. And Patty just said, "Look, why aren't we there? God damn it, we're supposed to be there. It's important work, and time is money, and can we just hurry up and get there?" And the elders looked at him and said, "What is going on, Patty? For God's sakes, He said, "Look, we've been going for 2 weeks. There's nothing to show for it. And now you're telling me there's another couple of weeks to go? Well, I don't have that much time, and I don't have that much money." And they said, "Well, look, we really actually I don't know if you want to hear this, but we really need to stop. We've been going for 2 weeks, and we really need to stop and take a break, because, the rate we're going, we're losing sustenance and vitality and all sorts of energy. And Penny says, well, what the hell? What do you mean stop? We've got to press on faster, harder, and really, lean into it some more. And they said, well, no, actually, we're thinking actually we need to do something very different. And, oh, well, what are you thinking about? And they said, well, look, we've been traveling so fast for the last couple of weeks. We need to first wait for our souls to catch up with us. Souls to catch up with you? What are you talking about? To hell with you. I'm going on my own. And he marches off in some direction. And after the anger wears off, of course, doesn't he notice he's trekking down a path and he's walking across some sand, and he realized, oh my God, the sand is sinking. And the next thing you know, he couldn't get his foot out, and then the other foot was stuck. And it was very short time after that he was now sinking and up to his chest in quicksand. He was now praying, Mother of God, for God's sakes, what have I done? Come and save me, somebody. And I guess the elders heard him crying out. They came, and of course they did the rescuing the archaeologist in the sand number on him. You can look it up on Google if you want. It's all there. But safe to say, in no time flat, they had Paddy out of there. And Paddy now is on his knees thanking them, because he thought his life was over, and he realized his errant ways, and this seeking of fame and fortune at the cost of his life, and his friendship with people was just not worth it. And he really was a lot more sincere and not so full of himself, and really asked for some forgiveness and said, look, I'm so willing to, please lead the way. And the elders, of course, sat there and said, well, we need to consider this particular event. And so they decided that they needed to pause, and they talked for the rest of that afternoon, and they went back to him and said, look, given what's gone on, we probably need to talk some more. We probably need to spend a couple of 3 days. We're waiting for our souls to catch up with us anyway. Let's have a conversation for 3 days, and then we're going to make a decision whether we want to go further or not. So the 3 days passed. They did in the end decide to go and get the treasure. And didn't they in the end find the treasure? And then didn't in the end, wasn't he able to share this great boon with the great archaeological community around the world? And famous was Paddy for this dig, and it was the biggest treasure. And at the end of Paddy's life, spending 6 months with these African elders, and 6 months in Ireland, putting displays together and putting things on show, he was actually being given an award, and the award was for his accomplishments and for all the treasure that he had brought to the world. And Paddy said, it's awfully great that you're thanking me and giving me credit, but the treasure is not the treasure that I brought back from Africa. It's not the beautiful diamonds and the rubies and the minerals and all the gold and everything else that has come back, or all the artifacts, or all the incredible digs, or the big huge diamond that I found. None of that compares to the real treasure, which has been the treasure with my friendship with these elders in Africa.